Okay, so if I can have your attention, I want to go over homework 9. So homework 9 builds off of homework 8. I noticed that almost the entire class had uploaded the homework 8 exercise already, which was to trace around your cartoon with red lines. I haven't looked at them, but I can see that they've been turned in. So I noticed that a lot of you were really good about completing that, which is great because we're going to use homework 8 to finish homework 9. And so homework 8, when we drew the red lines, I said, let's turn that into our outline layer. And we're going to take this outline layer and we're going to duplicate that outline layer and we're going to turn it into a live paint layer. That live paint layer we are then going to fill with the appropriate colors. We're going to sample the colors from your blueprint and assign those to your illustration. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create the trap. So your cartoon has a trap, so we need to make the trap to finish the illustration. The same way that we used a trap to finish the Muscle Man drawing. And then the last thing that we're going to do is possibly add some details to the drawing. So this document has the expectations and the outline for what you're to do to construct your finished cartoon character. So I'm going to do a demonstration on completing that. Okay, so this is my homework 8. I just finished it. And you'll notice that I have my reference image. Here's my blueprint. And here's my outline layer. My outline layer has all of the trap or trappings around the major colors of the character. Does that make sense? We did that today as well with Muscle Man. So I have an outline layer and I have a reference image. So I'm going to lock the reference image, make sure I don't move that around, and I'm going to lock my outline layer. Now it's important to start locking our layers because I don't want to accidentally move them or alter them. So I locked my outline layer. Okay, so I'm going to jump to Canvas and I want to look at the instructions that I gave you for our homework assignment again. So the first thing that it says here for homework 9, it says duplicate your outline layer. So that means make a copy. Make a copy or duplicate your outline layer. And then I want you to name the new layer. What do I want you to name the new layer? LP, which stands for live paint. So I'm going to call my new layer live paint. And then it says use the line in this new layer to convert your path content to a live paint group. Right, so let's do that. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So here's my layers. I'm going to make a copy of this outline layer. Now to make a copy, I go to the hamburger icon, and you'll notice that the third option from the top says duplicate. So I'm going to duplicate that layer. Now you'll notice that it names it copy. I suggested that you rename this layer. What did I suggest? LP for live paint. So I'm going to double click, get to the layer options. I'm going to call this LP and hit OK. All right, so let's take a look at my layer. So I have a reference layer, I have an outline layer, and I have a live paint layer. I'm going to hide the outline layer. I don't need to see it anymore. Okay, and I'm sorry? I select, how did I make a copy? That was the question. I selected the layer, I went to the hamburger, and I selected duplicate outline. I know that there's a drag and drop method, but I don't remember how to do that. Okay, so I'm sorry, I don't remember. So I'm going to turn off the eye icon for my outline. I don't need to see this anymore, but I do want to see the live paint layer. Okay, so I'm going to select all of the lines in the live paint layer. So there's like 3 or 4 ways I can do this. So one way is I can select Command A. That's going to select all my lines. Another way is, let me deselect. Another way is I can click to the right of this circle. And when I do that, it will select everything in this layer. So let me do that again. If I click everything to the right of that circle, it selects everything on that layer. So you can see it's all active. Okay, I'm going to open up the LP layer so you can see what's going on inside of there. So you'll notice that all of the paths are set as individual paths. Do you see that? They're all set as individual paths. And I'm going to convert this into a live paint group. Does anybody remember how to convert this to a live paint group? We did this last week. I'm just curious. Anybody remember? Your object and then what? Object, and then we're going to look for live paint as a drop down, and then we're going to turn this into a live paint group. Go ahead and hit make. Okay, so now you'll notice that all of those little individual lines have been gathered in a live paint group. They've been gathered in a live paint group. So you'll also notice that the bounding box has these little asterisks or a jack.